Hey, Zach, look, it's the pause menu. And now it's not anymore.
Okay.
Alright, so... time to do some more side quests.
Lovely.
Alright, when you check your...
That sound effect sounds like you're in a bloody horror game.
Well, actually, this is a horror game, actually, so...
It's supposed to be. I know that the tone seems to contradict a bit, but
where's the
we can
horror?
assure you.
Well, do you have to remember, like, think of it like this. You know how Last of Us Part 2's tension feels rotten because the game is in constant high bleakness? You know, SWERY, on the other hand, knows that you need to have some more downtime so that later, when the dark stuff comes up, it actually has impact instead of just having dark stuff all the time. So
yeah, I will give this.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't know how much like fancy stuff you can have in a world that's trying to survive a zombie apocalypse.
I actually wonder, Jova.
Yes.
Is there a polar opposite of a darkness-induced audience apathy trope? Like, say, a setting that's too saccharine-inducing?
Yes.
My issue with Last of Us Part 2 story isn't the dark tone. I mean, we're in a zombie apocalypse. I don't think you can get...
No, I wasn't referring specifically to that.
The issue really was the writing.
Alright, who is these?
I'm talking more about tone, badly handled tone. There you go.
Allow me, Dwibs. We're talking more about the darkness-induced audience apathy.
That too.
In general. Sorry, go on.
It's okay to have your story be dark, sure, but when you have it way too dark for the particular franchise it's in, or so dark to the point where you don't really care about anyone because, as far as you know, they're probably all gonna die, lose, or be miserable or whatnot, you get said apathy, wherein nobody cares.
Darkness becomes the norm, and the impact diminishes. Anyway.
I mean, yeah, darkness.
Oh, so let's see what movie... so guys, which movie should we watch next?
It's hard to narrow it down just to one movie.
That car just
But I put a lot of
bounced.
thought into this, and I'm sure
Okay.
you agree with me.
Which movie, York?
1975.
Ah.
What?
Sure.
1975, Jova.
Oh, 1975.
Set in a small town.
Ow.
That movie
Wait,
made me stay away from the beach for
Massachusetts?
years.
Yeah.
Hold on. That doesn't take place in Massachusetts. It takes place in Amity Park. That's New York.
Jaws.
Well, I don't-
Oh, right.
Williams music.
And we're ca-
I'd never been that scared by a movie before.
Maybe sorry, got it wrong.
Is that
Well,
a
actually, no. You said 1975 as a clue as to what film it is. In fact, let me check to see if it's correct.
It is actually.
Gave a lot of time to the dispute and friction between.
Yeah, 1975.
All right.
Well, yeah, Jaws came out in
Yeah, I
1975.
know. I was just making sure.
One of my regrets in life is that I didn't.
Well, Jova, to the discredit, he did get the setting wrong, the city wrong, so...
I wanted to taste
Might as
Maybe
well.
I guess it's occasionally York's character to get certain stuff wrong. Who knows?
Jaws.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay. I mean,
Oh, hold on.
fair,
The second Back to the
even I
Future.
forget some movies.
It was directed by
Oh.
Robert Zemeckis, who later made Forrest Gump. That's also a
Nice.
of course, but we'll discuss that another time. So the scene where Jaws appears is right after Marty McFly goes 30 years into the future.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, that little thing where they poke fun at the amount of Jaws sequels.
Looking closer, he sees the words Jaws Part 19. The director is credited as Steven Spielberg Jr. In reality, there were actually only 4 Jaws movies.
Yes.
Still a great joke. 30 years from 1985 would be 2015.
That's it.
We'll be there pretty soon.
You know, I'll admit.
I wonder what
Don't worry, York. York, I hate to break it to you, but things do not get really better.
You know, I'll just say this. Part of me almost wishes that we did have 19 Jaws films, if only because in somewhere in those 19 films, they would have had to have made a movie that would have redeemed
A
the
right
franchise.
hand bone.
Okay, odd.
Human bone? This doesn't look related to the case, but shouldn't I let someone know?
Especially about that stray dog over there.
Yeah, honestly, Jova, Jaws 12 was where I draw the line. The scene where the shark grew guns on its fins. I mean, come on.
Although
Okay,
you
Joe,
gotta admit,
That's about like something the Sharknado movies would do.
although, dude, you gotta admit, Jaws 15, where Jaws teamed up with the humans to take out, you know,
the bigger shark. Yeah.
No, I wasn't gonna say that because I don't want to take a joke from freaking Family Guy of all things, but
I knew that.
And then Jaws 16 established that Jaws was never working with the humans. He just did that to lull them into a false sense of security, and then killed them off screen.
And then Jaws 17, that Jaws kind of eventually wanting to redeem himself, so he joins the police force to atone for his actions here and there.
And then in Jaws 18, he just dies a quarter of the way through the movie. For generic strong female character shark.
I forgot which Jaws was actually an adaptation of Jaws Unleashed.
Oh, well, none.
Regardless.
Anyway, Pedro, I actually have a question.
Yeah, there you go. See, after we're done with all the movie trivia in one chapter, he will just will say free looping thing like, Zach, we can take a rest if you're tired or something like that. Go ahead, too.
To answer your...
I have a question regarding to the gesture. I know the gesture that York does when he puts his finger to the temple, you know, he's communicating with Zack, supposedly. But what about when he taps instead on his, like, shoulder or chest? He does that seem to do when he's he's thinking about something.
That's when he's thinking.
But it seems to be a bit inconsistent. At least so far, but whatever. I'll see more later.
Well, the animation in this game is very crappy too. So what can I tell you?
I guess.
Anyway, dude, to answer your question about Jaws 19, Jaws 19, they finally took the criticism of Jaws 18 to heart and revived Jaws, and eventually tied things up, paying homage to every single past movie, but wrapping it up with Jaws finding out who the real murderer of his wife and children were, and then working with the great-great-great-grandson of Martin Brody to help bring the killer to justice. And then finally, it goes off in the sunset in a blaze of glory as he finally goes to now protect SeaWorld.
Jova, I think you're forgetting about the ending.
Oh, well, to be fair,
For context, I'll explain the ending. For context, guys, after all what Jova said, everyone in the movie, including Jaws, suddenly died of a heart attack, and then Brian Johnson danced onto the screen, giving the middle finger to the audience while moving the camera.
Anyway.
Anyway, Jova, to answer what you also said before, like, apparently...
Stop me. Don't worry, I'll stop you, York. Go ahead.
There's no real canonical indication, supposedly, of Amity Island, because it says here that in Jaws 2, the only indication that you get is that it's on the Atlantic coast, but without an actual indication. The closest you get is in the actual book, the original book of which the movie is adapted, where it's stated to be a village between Bridgehampton and East Hampton, approximately.
Okay, to you, as someone who's actually seen the first Jaws movie, I can assure you, they do state clearly that it takes place in Amity.
Sure. Well, I know that, but the thing is that Amity Island seems to be a fictional place, not a real one.
No. Amity Island is a real place in New York.
I don't know what to tell you, Jova. That's what it's telling me.
Well, just look up Amity Island, New York, and you'll find it. It's a part of Long Island.
Well, anyway.
Yeah. Not important. Go on, Pedro.
Yes, you might be wondering about the origin of these movie trivia conversations. Well, both SWERY and his best friend Koji Goda, who co-wrote this game with him, are big movie buffs. And they love talking about movies. They love discussing movies. They love discussing movie trivia and all that stuff, and just reminiscing, about the movies they've seen as kids, and their favorite movies and all that kind of stuff. So these conversations are actually inspired by those kinds of conversations. Again, in yet another attempt at trying to create an intimate bond between York and the player. Hey, doggy.
Huh.
Yes,
You're my
it's the dog
favorite
that
customer.
Yes, the dog that I mentioned earlier.
That's the thing, Joe. But it's supposed to be a different dog, but this game only has one dog model, so it has to be all.
Oh.
It still looks better than the one Lightning of the 13 trilogy.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
Yeah.
Well, for one tail, you don't zoom in on it, so.
Maybe because it was supposed to be background, whatever.
All right.
Oh, driving onto the train tracks.
That dog is not a good boy.
You can drive pretty much everywhere too, except over the mountains. Okay.
Oh,
Yes,
so
Joe.
are we going to make the 11 o'clock train ride?
Maybe. In this particular part, we're actually going to talk to Anagram, aka our victim's mom. So let's see what she knows. But so the first thing I have to do is go back to the city. So, fortunately,
Yeah, no, seriously. Can you run into the train?
no, I don't think there's even any trains in this game. No, not that I've come across anyway. Like the train track is just there because towns have train tracks.
It needs to be, I guess.
One of those trees look painted 2D.
Well, a lot of the tree textures are two-dimensional textures, Jova. That's the thing. Remember, this game had to cut a lot of corners graphics-wise, so.
Oh yes.
Okay, I may have found the potential discrepancy while, not understanding if what Jova said is still right or not. I get what the fact that the game tells about Massachusetts is because the actual filming was done in a place in Massachusetts. So maybe we're just comparing that.
Okay. Now that makes more sense. See, the film was shot in Massachusetts, but the setting-wise, the story takes place in New York.
All right.
One of the coastal beaches.
The mystery,
right,
ladies and gentlemen, we have solved the mystery of the Jaws setting discrepancy. Dun dun dun.
Can we have a good Jaws movie now again? Please?
And we got George's trading card.
Okay. Honest question. Would you guys be willing to see a Jaws 5 if it promised to redeem the franchise after...
To be fair, at this point, I'd rather have a reboot. Who actually owns the franchise at this point?
Universal, I think.
Oh god, no, thank you.
Oh god, Universal. Ever since getting bought by
Last thing I want to see is
Comcast,
Comcast trying to handle this kind of beast.
it says something. It really says something that for as bad as Disney have gotten, they were still the better people to buy Fox over the likes of Comcast.
At this point, that should be Disney's slogan. Hey, at least we're not Comcast.
Pretty much. Oh boy.
All right, so. Anyways, you're back. Theo found the reason for the discrepancy. It turns out the movie was shot in the Massachusetts. That's where the confusion came from. So.
Yeah.
I think, okay, now instead it's, I don't know when is the next film, but maybe it's a good time instead, Pedro, to tell us instead about the voice acting, like who voices York?
Allow me. Francis York Morgan is voiced by Jeff Kramer. And as far as I'm concerned, this was an absolutely flawless performance. Jeff Kramer's deadpan delivery perfectly fits the tone of the game.
That was a head-on collision.
Yes.
Jesus, when did you
Wow,
become
that was a hit and run. That's the thing, Joe. But the driving controls, let's just say, are not the best. That's all I'll say for now.
Like I said, I've heard the legends.
But anyway, yeah, Jeff Kramer, for my money, absolutely rules as York. Like he does such a great job with that awesome deadpan delivery, and he completely serves as just a great contrast to the incredibly kooky, crazy characters that are all over the town. So it works really well for me.
Apparently, he worked a lot with Sega. He was in Space Channel 5, Jet Set Radio. He was the voice of E123 Omega. He was an owl in Night's Journey of Dreams. He was in Virtua Quest. But get this. This was technically the role of York for this game. It was technically his last until he reprised the role for the sequel in 2020.
Yeah, Jeff Kramer himself will tell you that he absolutely loves the character, and it's the role he's most proud of.
Well, from what you told me, Pedro, the reason why the tone is kind of like that is because he was directed a bit to act like this.
Yes, basically.
He didn't know much about the English language back
Well,
then.
it's interesting you say that, Teo, because both SWERY and the producer of the game, Tomio Kanazawa, did say that they were incredibly grateful and impressed by Jeff Kramer in the recording booth because he managed to have that extra layer of sarcasm and that pen delivery that beyond even what SWERY was imagining. So it was both an effort on both SWERY and Jeff Kramer also, put his own stamp on the character.
Although we should mention, SWERY himself wasn't the voice director in either game.
True, but he did describe the Jeff
Kramer.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. In the first game, in this game, the voice director was a guy named Greg Weber, and in the second one, it was Kirk Fulton.
Oh, cool.
Because again, the second game had a higher voice acting.
Yeah. It boils down to that being said, we know thanks to a Jeff Kramer interview, however, that SWERY did in both occasions talk to him about the character and describe them what kind of voice he wanted. So SWERY did participate in describing to Jeff exactly how the character should sound like. In fact, according to Jeff, it was even easier in the second game because, according to him, SWERY improved on his English in the past 10 years.
Oh, left-hand bone.
Discarded body parts.
So is this like the collectible? You're basically constructing your own personal skeleton.
No, Teo, we're making our own personal Exodia.
Don't worry, Teo. This is all for a side quest that's going to be available later. I'm just, getting some groundwork done for later.
Getting ahead of the curve.
Yes.
Dandy.
You're probably wondering, what are these bones all for? Well, we'll see. Alright, now if I remember correctly, we're gonna finally go... Yeah, that's now. We're gonna go to... God, what was... I forgot the mom's name.
Mother's house.
I know that. It's just that I forgot her first name. Sallie, I think that's... Yeah, Sallie Graham. Alright, Anna's house. Let's go.
A member of the Graham family. Oh, nice.
Yes. Alright, let's go.
In that case,
another voice actor.
She's a very good swimmer.
Another voice actor who participated in this game is Melissa Hutchison. She voices most of the female characters, including Emily herself. Melissa Hutchison, one of her more recent roles was being Koma-san in the first cast of the Yokai Watch English dub,
and Bianca in the Spyro Reignited trilogy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So those are the two primary notable voice actors of this game, Jeff Kramer and Melissa Hutchison. The others are typical additional voice actors that are not that well known.
I actually don't think I've checked. Just for curiosity, I want to see who voices the sheriff.
It's interesting because Jeff Kramer did say in that interview that I quoted that apparently he is actually real life friends with George Woodman's voice actor. Alright, so taking a cue from Metal Gear, the cigarettes can speed up time.
Because of course they can.
Casey Robertson. Oh, he also worked a lot with Sega. He was in Crazy Taxi 3, Jet Set Radio Future, Shinobi, and Kunoichi, or aka Nightshade, the sequel, Phantasy Star Universe, and Knight's Journey of Dreams as the voice of Reala.
Oh, wow. And Jeff Kramer was also in that, too.
Well, apparently, the last thing we did was a short in 2015 called Kratos Dishonored. I don't know what that is.
So, fun fact, apparently this game is actually a reboot of another game.
Yeah, Rennie Woods. Well, don't worry, Joe. I'll bring up Rennie Woods when the extra part. Basically, when this game started development, it was originally called Rainy Woods, but when they had to change the game because there were issues with the owners of Twin Peaks because it looked a bit too much like Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
They revamped the entire look of the game to make it a bit less like to the point where it was copyright acceptable.
Do not steal.
This game is so notorious.
Hello. Who are you?
I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please call me York. It's what everyone calls me.
York. Sounds like a last name.
What's your dark spot owner?
Overlap.
Yeah, I think the voice clips just intermingled.
Yeah, for as much, this game always had glitches, even in the original release. So
how can a game be so terrible yet so beloved? You know, outside of just
Because it's fun. That's why.
terrible.
it's because this game transcends its own crappiness in the sense that there's a lot of charm to it. The characters are memorable. And there's just it's incredibly unique compared to all other games in the market.
Let me put it like this: I am well familiar with the concept of something being so bad it's good, but this goes beyond that. Like, I mean, this game is very, very, very broken and bad to the point where it shouldn't even go into the so bad it's good category.
It's because Jova.
It's the DP experience.
Yeah, like Captain Psychopath said. And that's the thing, Jova. Most fans of Premonition, including myself, will. Actually, Terry, you can be this guy.
What's up? If you need something from me, just come see me at the bar. Hey.
Thanks for. All right, thanks for the $12.
What's up?
We already read this. Yeah, we already read this.
Welcome to Cornelia.
I was trying to see if he had another line to say, but.
Show me the kitchen cover.
All right, as for Sallie Graham, I'll have Dweb's voice, or why not? Since it hasn't had a. Hasn't had.
Also, this time York was very polite. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah.
Looks like this.
Richard, are you walking into the door again?
Looks like the script.
Sorry, honey, I just got stuck in the furniture again.
Looks like his scripted animation rebooted. So sorry about that, everybody.
It's funny because he was literally leaving as we entered the house, yet somehow he teleported back into the house. Did he?
Is he giving us his house?
Hello.
Yes.
You okay?
You get a free house.
Oh no, that dress.
Oh God, the dress is alive.
Oh.
Sallie Graham, Anna's mother.
Oh, okay. This is actually important, I think.
Do you know where Anna is?
She's not coping with it well.
I don't think we'll get anything out of her like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, better. He says that because there's a side quest. So I guess we can indeed get something out of her.
All right,
I'd like to
let's
ask you
do
some
it.
questions about Anna.
SWERY, you do know that you just wrote for us not to talk to her.
Excuse me, but I'm asking the questions.
Not just that, these side quests actually has voice acting.
All the side quests have voice acting, Joe, too.
But some of them don't seem to be like have.
Well, let me put it like this: like the most important dialogue of the side quest has cuts. Like it's mostly when they're having some kind of minor interaction that involves trading something. It's kind of hard to explain, but you'll get the hang of it as we go on.
Sure.
Also, Jover, it could be just a disconnect because York says we won't be able to get any information out of her, but what does Zach think?
There's that too, yeah.
Clever.
There's that too, yeah.
Damn.
It's probably in Phantom Manor at this point.
Is there a therapist in this town?
All right, in this particular instance, York actually is right. Yes, in order to. Yeah. So now we have to find Anna's dress because she's very desperate to find Anna's dress that she lost. So maybe if we find the dress, find the dress somewhere in Anna's house and give it to Sallie. Maybe if we get the dress, she'll calm down and help us. But yeah, to continue.
She forces York to wear the dress to pretend that he's her long lost daughter.
Okay, so to answer Jova's question, that's the thing, Jova. Most of the Premonition fans, including myself, will also tell you that this is one of those games. This will become I will be able to explain properly what I mean when we get further into the story. This is a game that it's not even one of those, so I don't even consider this a so bad it's good game, although it does have qualities similar to that kind of game. It's one of the. I will say that this game manages to be great despite its crappiness. It's a paradox. I get it, but I will be able to properly explain what I mean when things become more obvious.
There are
Okay.
pictures of Anna in a dress.
That would explain the devoted fan base.
Must be the one Sallie is looking for. She does look like a goddess. Sallie was right.
Probably not the best move
6 out of
to.
10.
That smile.
Okay, look.
It's hey, Teo. It's the prettiest girl we could render with this engine. Okay, be nice.
Okay. York, I've read enough Marvel comics to know that deifying a recently deceased or dead character is not always a good idea.
It's locked. I need a key to open it. Okay,
Very
of course. We need to find the bronze key, so then we can get the silver key, so then we can get the golden key.
Boy, we really are taking from Metal Gear Solid.
Alright, so let's find that key, wherever it could be. Oh, never mind. We found Anna's dress. Never mind. Turns out we didn't have to go into Anna's room to find her dress.
This is the same dress as the one in the prom picture. Let's take it to Sallie.
Alright.
Alright, let's go to Sallie. Come on, Pedro, press A. Thank you. Oh, hey, Sallie.
hello.
Glad to see you up.
Did you find her dress?
I did, actually.
By
Yes.
the fluttering of your hair there.
Let's give her the human bone. Let's see what, like...
This is it. The dress. This is Anna's dress.
Lady, are you okay?
I don't think so, Joe.
Those motions.
Anna.
Sallie, we found the dress. So please tell me more about Anna.
A real negotiator.
She was such a good girl. She was the most beautiful girl in town. With pretty blonde hair. Everyone around her just loved her.
On the night of the
Oh
murder,
God, she really
Anna
was
at
Gwen
home?
Stacy.
Yes, I think so.
You think so?
That day. The day she died. I stayed over at a friend's place. If only I'd been here, Anna might not have gone through...
Where did you stay that night?
I was...
Aha.
Press.
So in other words, you have no idea what Anna was up to that night.
That's wrong. She wasn't the kind of girl that would walk around at night. She was always dancing under the sun. Yes, under the pouring sunshine, like this.
I can't help but think that she might be dodging a question here.
A key
It's an understatement.
fell from Anna's dress.
Thanks, Sallie.
This to get into Anna's room. Sorry, Sallie, but we're going to have to take a look in there.
Well, at least he was considered to tell her.
I think she's preoccupied anyway.
No matter-
To cut the drama there, guys.
Ooh, Anna's diary is nice.
Imagine if a lot of drama films had that sound there.
No matter how many times I hear it, I never get sick of it.
It's the
Okay.
timing if it works for me.
I will say that it is a nice touch that each side quest does give you a list of the days that it's, possible to do it, so that, you'll know when's your last chance to do this or that.
Oh, good eye, Joe.
What if in the movie Down to Hitler's big rant, it has that music track in it?
Also, that was the Sailor Moon sound effect they just used there.
York? Okay, no, right. It's not very polite to shave in the bathroom of a deceased girl. Come on.
Oh, look, we found Anna's dress training card.
Yay.
Don't tell me there's spoilers about the dress.
I don't think Anna's dress card has spoilers in particular, but most of them, the cards do, yeah.
Look out, the painting's probably haunted. Have your gun just in case. What the?
I guess the idea was very
Oh.
easy.
That craves excitement.
Looks like Anna is not as pure as her mom thought.
Oh, like Gwen Stacy.
Ooh.
Doesn't matter what town you're from. Girls will be girls.
Shiroi, any input?
Nah, none.
There are no
Damn it.
old-fashioned towns left. None at all.
I guess she wants to be like other girls, as Mulan to put it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the weird animation is
Hold on.
better, so that's why
It's the day
not.
of the
Oh,
ceremony, and I'm a little nervous about it. Day 2.
Oh, God, she was
First
in a
time he
cult,
used it
wasn't
on me.
she?
It was so amazing. So exhilarating. Day 3.
Oh, God, one of those cults
He
that
doesn't let
provides
anything
weed.
slip. I'm really worried about Becky. Day 4.
Oh.
Delivery man Q won't be able to protect Becky. So that's the last page
Q?
written.
Delivery man Q. We'll find out who he is
Very
later.
Interesting.
And this
What's-
Becky, she might know something.
So we have this unnamed
What's
he,
Q doing in this universe?
Becky, and this delivery man Q. Zach, this could be more interesting than I thought.
All right, so we have a new lead. Okay, so we found the lead. So we need to find this Becky. We need to find whoever this delivery man Q is, and there's also an unnamed he, probably the killer. So let's talk. So everybody, in the next part, everybody, we will be talking to Becky, see what she can tell us about this.
All right.
Lovely.
Keep in mind, this is a side quest. You don't have to do this particular part. However, it is good that because it does add to what stuff that we'll see later in the main campaign. Basically, the side quests primarily flesh out the citizens of Greenvale. Basically, it's all about the world building.
It also, I guess, in this case, it rewards a player that seeks attention. Otherwise you will get to know the plot point later on anyway.
Yeah, because because these characters are actually going to be taking place in the main plot later. However, it will become the plot points will hit even harder if you actually bother to do these side quests. That way you'll get to flesh out the characters even further. So it is recommended. Go ahead.
It's kind of like Baron Zemo's diary in Captain America Super Soldier. It basically tells you what Hydra wants to do beforehand, but it doesn't hamper you, and then you get to learn it eventually on your own. But if you actually bother to collect the stuff, you get to know stuff in advance without even being too spoilery.
Very good. All right, so
York, you need to learn how to park. There you go. You have to do that off screen.
no, that's the thing too. Every time you park badly and you leave the car, the game will autocorrect that and put the car in the correct position. So.
Wait, which is weird because when you park near the house, York apparently decided to park on the front lawn, which is not common courtesy.
Well, what can I tell you, Jova? Anyway,
What are you talking about, Jova?
well, anyway, let's update the HQ on our
What are you talking
progress.
about? What are you talking about, Mr. Jova? Back in FBI training, we were taught that technique all the time. It's to save time in our investigation.
Definitely.
Of course.
Anyway, everybody, in the next part, let's talk to this quote-unquote Becky and see what she knows.
Goodie. See ya.
You're done.
So, yeah.
See ya.